sins.
It'll take you out.
It'll take you out. I always picture like Deadly Sins, like a Netflix show or something called Deadly Sins.
I always picture
vampires and shit.
No, I always picture Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, Seven.
Oh, yeah, that's the best.
Oh,
that's
my
an amazing
God.
movie.
It's such a
especially at the
thriller.
end.
Oh, don't, what's in the box?
Yeah. And then what's his name was such a good bad guy.
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
That's a killer movie.
Oh my God! If people haven't seen that, they need to watch that.
Yeah, go
It'll
watch
fuck you up
Seven
though.
and then come listen to this podcast. You'll understand what we're talking about.
So we talked about pride, greed, and wrath,
Yes.
and we have 4 left.
4 left. We're discussing character defects. We suggest that you go watch the previous episode to get the first 3. And then obviously this is just one modality, one way to dissect me missing the mark, me not being the best version of myself. Any modality can work. We find what works best for you. This is just one way that Jason and I are doing it together.
So I want to get into envy because that's the next one.
Biggie,
I think these are hitting me hardcore.
Yep.
Anger, envy. Let's recap on the sin once again. Will you talk about that one? Just real quick, what sin is, so people know.
Yeah, so sin is an ancient archery term that means missing the mark. It's actually Hebraic.
Yeah.
It's a Hebrew term, and all it means is miss the mark. So if I have the highest version of myself, if I have a God consciousness, if I have a goal, if I steer from that, if I go in the opposite direction of that, I miss the mark. I sinned. So we like to approach the etymology of the word sin in regards to not being the best version of myself. That's all that means. We do not have a particular religious connotation saying you're going to burn now.
Yeah, exactly.
Or punishment for you.
Yeah.
That has not been our experience. It's not going to be our experience.
No.
No one is lighting me on fire.
Yeah.
If I'm connected to the most powerful thing in the universe, it doesn't want me to be in pain or punished.
Yeah, and it's also not going to punish me eternally because I didn't pay attention to it.
Correct. Yeah, it's just a learning lesson. It's just another learning lesson.
Yeah. So,
us.
and if you have a different view of sin or whatever, I would encourage you to go look it up.
Yeah.
In the Hebrew, in the Bible, and in the Greek, you can do for New Testament when Paul talks about sin. So, and you'll clearly see that's what it means.
Correct.
We've thrown thousands of years or hundreds of years of weird.
You're right.
I was listening to, it's really interesting. I was listening to a Catholic priest that was a mystic Catholic priest, and I was thinking about him earlier, and he's like 3-letter agencies, like we always think of like DEA, and that's a big one for addicts, but Drug Enforcement Agency or CIA, all these 3-letter agencies. He goes, we always think of them as being separate from a religious institution. Now, this is a mystic Catholic priest talking. He's like, all 3-letter agencies, anything where you get a tribe of people together and they're there for a period of time, you're going to get a form of fundamentalism. And fundamentalism is this whole idea of we're right and everybody else is wrong.
Okay.
And then he's like, especially like interpretation of the Bible, like with sins or whatever, the shallowest way to translate something is literal.
Very good. Yeah, instead of psychologically, instead of metaphorically.
Yes. It's so easy to translate something literal. So a lot of people, when they're looking at the Bible and they just have this literal interpretation of it, they're missing out. They're just on that surface layer, that shallow surface layer. And so that's a form of fundamentalism. And you could see that. I was raised in that where every word in the Bible is literal and true and 100%.
Yeah. And you miss the depth. You miss the personal lesson.
Well, it takes you away from God because you're so focused on, I need to study the Bible. I have to read the Bible. I have to pray. Oh my God, I looked at this woman's breasts, Yeah. Like I saw cleavage, And so you're just narcissistically focused on the do's and don'ts and the rules and regulations. And that's what fundamentalism does because in its core, it's envy.
Okay.
And that's just what we're talking about. It's coveting something that I don't have.
Yes.
And it's showing, because when I'm hating a Mormon because I'm Baptist, what is that? That's me looking at this person with no understanding, with no love, and immediately saying, you're Mormon, you're bad, you're evil, you don't have true religion, I have all the answers. It's like, what human can say that? But there are people out there that's like, my religion is the only religion, and we have all the answers. If you would only accept my God, then you would. I mean, there's religions where they throw people off buildings and shit because they're not worshiping. I mean, we did the Crusades.
Right. Yeah.
In the form of God. Let me kill you,
convert,
rape your
or die
wife, and cut your children's heads off because you won't convert. From what to what? Like, what am I converting here from? To what am I converting to? You know, so envy is coveting another's life, and it leads to dissatisfaction. And then that dissatisfaction is where what our literature says, that dissatisfaction is where the substance abuse gets to come in.
I can return
Yes.
to my addiction. Yeah. The covet is the biggie here for me. There's a reason we have these foundational texts, the Torah, the Bible, the Tao. There's a reason that we turn to wisdom. A lot of those texts are the foundation that we're standing on, especially here in the Western world, especially when it comes to our government, and especially when it comes to our legal system.
Yes.
Our legal system is literally standing on the foundational beliefs inside of the Torah, the 10 Commandments, the Decalogue, to be specific. Thou shalt not murder. Science didn't tell me not to murder. Evolution didn't tell me not to murder. The Torah said that. God said that. The God consciousness inside of me, the part of me that knows better, the part of me that has a high aim. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods.
That's envy.
Thou shalt not envy. The Marxist dictum, I don't want to get too political here, but the Marxist dictum is a covetous dictum. What you have, I kind of want that.
Well, that's socialism.
It's exactly socialism. I don't even think you deserve that. You should share that.
And it, like in you know this, in Stalin's time, it was like, it got to the point of like, I have 5 cows, but you have 10. You need to be like everybody else. You can't have 10. You need to have 5 like me.
5.
But then the 5 cow guy, the 3 cow guy was like, you have 5 cows. So I'm going to murder you. So then you see how it just goes, and the whole society gets fucked up.
It's a destructive
You're so
pattern.
right on
It's a destructive pattern. It's a covetous perspective on life. It's a covetous dictum. And the danger of coveting is I want something for nothing. I didn't really work for it. I know I don't deserve it, but don't you know who I am? This is mine.
Well, this is so true because, and I'm not going to get really personal here, but you and I train and we go to the gym, and you train somebody that's like one of the richest people in New Mexico. So, and we're not going to do names or anything like that. But this person, it's so funny. I've gotten pretty good about that. You know, when I can see this person and know that they have these very expensive cars.
Sure.
The reaction is so funny when we're at the gym. Somebody next to us is like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's a beautiful vehicle. Another person can be next to us and be like, fuck him and fuck that.
Can you believe he drives that?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm now, me at 20 years old may have been negative towards it, or secretly negative in my mind. Now it's like I get excited.
Yes.
I'm like, you go, motherfucker.
That fucking turns me on.
Yeah, Rolls Royce, motherfucker. Come on, that's like big balling, bro. You know, it's like, it's super exciting, you know, or like looking at guys with, you know, we like watches.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, you have a Patek? Holy shit, bro. Can I just touch it? Can I hold it like this? You
Totally.
know?
Yeah, totally.
So, but I mean, this envy is where, when you're an addict, this shit's probably eating you up. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Because I've been envious multiple times. I get envious over when I want something and somebody else has it.
Correct.
And this was Cain and Abel's story.
Yes. This is so envy is the spirit of Cain. and
spirit of Cain.
The
We did a whole podcast.
Yeah, it's destructive, it's violent, it's
so bad.
murderous. It's murderous. I want what you have so bad, I'll kill you to get it. It's also perception alter. It alters my perception of reality.
David and Bathsheba.
Yes, sent him to the front line.
It's like, I need to kill your husband because I want to.
You're mine now.
Yeah.
And that was adultery. So that was lust as well. Anyways, it alters my perception of reality. I'm no longer seeing the truth. I'm no longer seeing what's real. I'm just seeing what I want. I'm envious. Your well-being doesn't matter when I have a veil of envy. I can't even see it. Your inner peace doesn't matter when I have my envy sunglasses covering my eyes. How I'm seeing the world.
What was that little naughty king in Game of Thrones?
Joffrey.
Yeah, Joffrey.
Joffrey.
Yeah. He's like the perfect envy.
Perfect. He's envy.
He's like, what are you doing over there? Are you having more fun? You're better looking than me. Like he was judging everything.
I'll kill you for that.
Yeah, and then he had that power to kill.
Yeah, spirit
but
of
he was
Cain.
envy. He was just envy all the time.
Spirit of Cain. And there's a reason that this is in foundational text. There's a reason that we have this built into our legal system. If I go down the rabbit hole with my envy, it's destructive. I can kill people. I end up in jail. I can dislike the human being I am because I'm disgusted in my own behavior. This is nasty stuff. We're talking about stuff that'll take me out. It will, at the minimum, I will return to alcoholism. At the minimum, because I'm so ashamed of the person I am. I can't look, and the alcohol masks that. The alcohol helps me turn a blind eye. But if you want to get real serious here, it's like I'm letting the spirit of Cain into my life.
That's disgusting.
I'm letting the part of me that will destroy you into my life.
And for me, envy, alchemizing it.
Yeah,
this
let's
is
alchemize it.
For me, this is a big one. Is when I'm feeling envy, I'm feeling like I'm not good enough.
Okay.
So I need to get something else to make me feel better. I need to take from somebody else to make me feel better. I'm not good enough. My sacrifice isn't good enough. My brother's sacrifice, Cain and Abel, my brother's sacrifice is way better. And God's pleased with him. God doesn't like me. So, and who came up with that interpretation? You know what I mean? It's like, at the end of the day, if I'm coveting another person's life, I'm saying my life is it's no good. Like, I don't like my life. If I'm obsessed over somebody else's life or looking at somebody else
And jealous.
and jealous and all that, and we're going to get into lust next, but there's something wrong with my life because there's no reason why I can't have that or more. There's abundance. Like you said, we have the power that creates worlds.
Right.
Creates worlds.
Yeah.
So why would I be worried about somebody that drives a Rolls Royce? I can have one too.
Yep.
He just works his ass off.
Yeah. He works balls out all the time.
So I need to do the same.
Yeah.
And be creative and smart, and I can create something online or whatever, it does me different.
That's part of the reason this foundational text, the foundation that our country, our new world is standing on is so beautiful, is because it's available for you. Work for it. Tap into it. Tap into your own abundance. Tap into your own capability. Tap into your own power. Make it yours. Have pride, the right amount of pride in your successes, and go get it. It's like, what's holding you back?
This is the whole thing that we talked about. You and I talked about being a spectator. That's where envy comes in.
Get off the wall, man.
Yeah.
Get into the game.
Get into the game. Don't just wear the jersey and sit in the stands and cheer for whatever.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is envy, though. This could be
So
like...
when I'm yelling at the TV, that's my team, that's my team, that's my team. We talked about this a lot. I guarantee you, they're not yelling back at Duane in his living room saying, that's my team.
Yeah, exactly.
Those guys are making millions of dollars playing a game that they love. They don't even know me. And then I sit there and say, that's my team, that's my team, that's my team. That's not my team. My team are the people sitting there in the living room with me. Am I providing for them? Am I helping them grow? Am I helping them develop?
Yes.
Am I helping them be present? Or are they living in fear? Are they living in worry? Are they living in scarcity?
So you think this deadly sin, because it's deadly, it starts with the seed of dissatisfaction. And then from there, it goes into the next one we're going to talk about is lust.
Yeah.
And that's this intense desire for whatever it may be. And I think testosterone, especially for a man, I want to talk to especially young men right now. And we'll both talk about this because, I mean, you're still young. You're 35. I'm 50. But I had a hard time in my 20s. Like my testosterone was through the roof.
Oh yeah.
I could look at a J.C. Penney's catalog or a Sears catalog and see like a brawl, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're
can I
taking
see?
me-
I'm like,
You're taking me back.
can I see a nipple? There's an outline. I need to look closer.
Yep.
You know, like, and I'm like, I mean, this whole thing of intense desire,
That is so
the
funny.
lust.
I used to get turned on walking through J.C. Penney's, in the women's aisle.
Yes.
There's no women there. It's just a bra.
Yeah, there's nothing there, and it's like, oh my god, there could be, or you like look at a woman and then she like turns around and there's a nice ass. You're like, oh my fuck, it's like I would give anything to have that. It's like this is that intense desire, and we see, and the story of this is when Esau needed that bowl of soup because he was starving, and then he ended up
Lentils.
giving
Give me some lentils, please, brother.
yeah, and he ended up selling it all.
Jacob
he sold
said,
his soul.
I'll give it to you, but for your birthright.
Yeah.
No problem. You want the lentils? Give me your birthright. Esau was the firstborn, so he got the inheritance of everything, the land, the rights, everything.
And I think there's that intense desire is like in this Esau moment. It's a spirit of Esau, if we want to call it that. It's the fuck it. This is what I want right now.
It's short-term
there you go.
satisfaction, which later can put me in a position to be harmed. Long-term there's no vision long-term.
Not
it's
in
just
lust.
short-term. I need this now. I have to have this now. And in reality, if my selfishness is involved, that harms me later, puts me in a bad position after I get what I want. And then let's take it to the extreme version. Who wants to be so lustful that they rape?
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk straight here. That's the extreme version.
Or
That's
get somebody fired because you want their position.
Yeah.
This lust goes in lots of different
Yeah,
ways.
it doesn't have to be a sexual.
Yeah.
But that
Or a
one
woman,
extreme version.
or a woman that, I mean, you could do it like we're talking about guys with lust. Women don't have the problem. They're not physical like they still have lust or whatever, but not nearly as close as a man. It was so funny. I read an article. This is so great. And the lady, she had accidentally at a clinic got a little testosterone cream on her. And she wrote an article about this. She goes, within like an hour, she's like, I was the horniest I've ever been in my life. She goes, that was just a small percentage of what a 20-year-old male is like. She was a doctor's, so she was like saying it, and she's like, if I walked around like this all the time and I felt this way, she goes, I couldn't function. Like,
Game on.
I couldn't. She's like, how would I have gone through medical school?
Yeah.
She's like, I get the whole obsession, and evolution gave us this
Very
gift.
Good. Yes. Good
It's
point.
a gift.
Good point, Jason.
They gift because what does it want us to do? Reproduce to
we have
save
to procreate.
humanity.
We have to procreate to continue the species.
And we think we're overcrowded, but we're not. They're already talking about that. Like China's done for, Japan's done for, Italy's done for, the United States is in a negative. Like there's a reason why that we have the good part of lust. There's a reason for us having testosterone.
That's very well said. Part of this is God given. It's just addicts. We take things to the extreme.
Here you go. Let's talk about addiction and lust.
So I don't want to be the extreme version of lust. The extreme version of lust is I'm gonna rape that. I don't care if you don't want it. I'm gonna get it anyways. Or I'm like you said, I'm gonna manipulate this person and they'll be fired because I want their position.
It's like stealing.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens. I'm going to take this. I want this.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal this from someone else.
I can't not get I can't stop myself from the short-term satisfaction. They called Esau, his nickname was Red because he traded everything for a bowl of red lentils.
Yeah, I was reading.
I can't help myself. I just need it. I need it now. So that's the extreme version of lust. And in the addict is the best example of that. We are creatures of extreme. So if I want to alchemize my lust, what's the opposite of lust? How do I use this right sized?
For me, it's understanding that it could be used it has a rightful place. It's not to be stamped down. You can't stamp down.
No.
You know,
Can't
religion's
pretend we don't
tried
have
that.
this,
Like
yes.
you see what's happening when you say you can't marry.
Right.
You know, in certain
Right.
churches and stuff like that, we've seen the outcomes. You can't stamp the fire out. You know, you're going against millions of years of evolution. But I can alchemize in the sense to understand that I can give, in a loving relationship, I can give 100% of my lust to my partner.
Very good.
And
Very
I
good.
can
A
show
committed
her, I can
relationship.
show her how committed I am and how much I love her. And I can take this and use this as an energy. And they even have like Tai Chi and stuff like this. We've talked about this, where you can alchemize that sexual energy and use it. And I've done this. It's like, I'm going to just really focus on work right now.
Yes.
You know,
Yes,
I'm going to
yes.
take all this energy I have, I'm feeling fucked up or whatever, like in a lustful way or whatever it may be. I'm going to focus. I need to focus on this. And then it's like that energy, I can use that. You know, if you wanted to give a speech or, you know, you wanted to do something, you can pray too. I've prayed and been like, God, this is wrong.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is wrong.
Powerful, bro.
Like, I know this is wrong. Like, help me with this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what God's there for.
Perfect. For me, a lot of this was like the manifestation of my lust and my addiction was always, well, I want to sleep with that. I'm going to sleep with that. And then that would maybe, you know, I would get short-term satisfaction and I would create uncomfortable situations for myself. I slept with this girl at work. Oh my God, I'm in a position of power over her. I'm her boss. And I slept with her. And so I was constantly creating uncomfortable situations, or women didn't feel safe around me because I was the predator in the environment. I was the one saying, "Oh, she's next. Oh, there's the answer. Oh, there's the solution. She'll fix me." Boom, boom, boom. Next. And the goal, or perhaps the alchemy, if I can alchemize it, I want women to feel safe around me.
Yes.
I want women to have a safe environment around me. My energetic vibration will be as such. I'm no longer a predator. Right-sized with my sexuality, right-sized with my lust. Like you said, it's perfect. I have that, but that's for one woman. That's for the person I'm committed to in a transparent, openly transparent communication. You're the only person I'm going to be with physically. That's what my choice. I could choose to have the opposite of that. But my choice for me and being the best version of myself is I want to be transparent. That's committed to one person. I want other women to feel safe around me.
Yeah, and I was listening to Teal Swan. Some people like her, some people don't, whatever. She's a spiritual guru. And I was telling you about this, but she's like, if a woman doesn't want to have sex with you, it's your problem. Like in the sense of and she was basically saying like, you're the man of the house in the sense of, and that's going to sound old and archaic. People are going to cut this off, but listen to me. What she what she was saying was, and she can articulate it way better than mine, but what she was saying was, if she's not feeling safe, if she's not feeling taken care of, if she's not feeling like the man has her back and is helping her, like she's just stuck with the kids all the time, or she's stuck in this, stuck in that, they cut that sex part off in their brain. Because it's just full mom mode, full, you know. But if the husband's being loving and caring and making sure that she can go, you know, like you do, making sure she can go spend time with her friends, or making sure she goes and gets her hair or nails done, or gets a break, or can go get a massage, or whatever it may be, you know. And there's those times where it's like, honey, I got this, you know. Like,
yes.
But most of the time it's I just worked all day. Why the hell are you bugging me with the kids? Did you make dinner? I'm going out to the garage to play with my hot rod. I'll be back when dinner's done, when it's ready. You know, who wants to fuck that guy? Then he's fat, and you know, you're fat and you got a big gut on you, and you're out drinking beer and being an asshole to the kids. Like,
not contributing.
That's not safe for her.
No.
She doesn't. Why would she want to fuck that?
That's powerful, bro.
Be the man that a woman would, that a woman in love with you would want to fuck. And
That's
what does
powerful.
that look like?
Yeah.
You need to get clear on that.
Head
you
of the
know?
household.
Yeah, and like you do, go to the fucking gym.
Take care of your
Look
body.
good. So when you take your shirt off, she's like, oh, fuck. My husband's hot.
Proud to be with you.
Yes.
Yes.
Where you can hold hands and walk down together with the beach.
And that's also honoring that connection. That's right-sized. I'm honoring that connection.
I want other women to look at me in front of my woman so that she knows and she can see like, yeah, this is my man, and vice versa. You know, it's the same thing. And so this is the alchemizing of lust. Let's move on. Gluttony. This is my problem. All these are, dude, how are all the 7 deadly sins?
Guilty. Ding, 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 ding.
You were just sharing a gluttonous story with me earlier.
Oh my God.
I relate to these, all of them. Last night I went on, I don't have an alcohol problem, but I had like 3 or 4 IPAs, and then I was like, let's have more.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so last night, I've never had any alcohol issues, but it was this whole idea. I was having fun, and we had friends with us, and it's like, I didn't even eat dinner.
Yeah.
You know, I was just drinking stupid IPAs. For what reason? I mean, it was fun or whatever, and we were with friends, but this whole desire of, I need more.
I gotta have more.
Let me have another one. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Bring me another one, you know.
I always say that more gluttonous, the better. And then
what's your peanut butter?
We also say I'm just a man of large appetite. Of course I fucking want more than you. I want more than everybody. So again, it's important to consume nutrition. It's important to be fueled appropriately. It's important to be high functioning in the world. Am I giving myself jet engine fuel for the highest version of Duane, or am I giving myself fucking sludge? Old dirty fuel.
That's so good.
And often I choose the old dirty fuel. It's like I made this vat of white chocolate, peanut butter, oatmeal, and I'm in the middle of a fitness challenge. I'm supposed to be paying attention to my diet. I know what my nutrition should be. I know what my macros should be. I know what my breakfast is supposed to look like. And I'm like, I'm going to eat 2,000 calories for breakfast.
Dude, I used to buy double stuffed Oreos. This is a long time ago when my kids were little.
Yes.
I didn't care about what I was eating. I would put it in the high cabinet so they couldn't get any. And then I would bring it down and I would eat a whole row. You know, on those double stuff, they have that row.
Oh, yeah.
I could slide through a whole roll pretty quick.
That's envy and gluttony together.
Yeah, I'm like, no, kids. I'm first. My needs are first. Fuck
Yes,
you.
yes,
You're not getting.
so
I could have just ordered. I could have just bought another thing.
I have that too. I have the exact same
But I
thing.
put it way up high
You can't get
where
it.
they didn't know. And then they would ask me, and I'd give them like 1 or 2. And then I would tell them, don't be eating all the Oreo. And then I would eat a whole row.
Yeah.
But I give them 1 or 2.
Yeah, I'm the exact
It's
same.
the rose cake thing you said earlier.
So the gluttony was highlighted and exasperated because that's how I drank. I was a gluttony with alcohol. I was a glutton with alcohol. I was a glutton with cocaine. As much as you got. Let's go. I never did that recreationally. I didn't want to do that recreationally. I did it as much as I could, as often as I could. It nearly killed me. That's what
Is
it's
that the
called.
difference? Like for me, last night I knew. I was like, I'm at my limit where I don't want to have a hangover in the morning. So like, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to feel bad.
There are many differences. I never knew that ever. That never occurred
Because
to
I
me
think
ever.
that's that like for me, I know I don't have an addiction with alcohol. So
Right.
But I do know last night in my buzz, if there was this whole thing of Oreo cookies,
Right.
I would have went and took a shower and took them into the bathroom and got a huge glass of milk and ate 2 rows maybe, or 1. And I would just be like,
So
that's gluttony.
Yes. It's as much as I can get.
I couldn't stop with the food, but alcohol I can. Isn't that funny how different people have different things?
Yeah. You're just wired a little different, but you still have
It's
the same
fucked up
behavior.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's still the same unconscious behavior. I liked how our literature says it also perpetuates my lack of control. Or maybe what I'm feeling is out of control. So it's just more. It's just devour. Maybe I get some weird sense of control from my unconscious devouring.
I think that chaos can be fun for some, and it's kind of addicting.
Swim in it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I like the trauma. I like the man that beats me occasionally.
Yes.
I like the woman that's super fucking psychotic and crazy.
Exactly.
I like the lack of control.
It's
I'm addicted to
unconscious.
the
Yes,
lack
it's
of
unconscious.
control.
Very good. Very good.
That's the gluttony, right?
Yeah. So what now? Alchemize it. What's the reverse of gluttony? Humility.
Oh, I hate to say this word. Yeah, humility. For me, it would be an awakening to self-discipline.
Ooh, I like that.
Like I have to awaken to it. Like you were saying, you said earlier, like, Jason, this is not your higher self.
Right.
This is low vibration.
Low vibration.
You sneaking cookies and take him into the bathroom and then eating them while you're going to take a shower and you're naked.
You're a grown man. You're a grown man. You can eat wherever you want.
Yeah. Why am I hiding him into the bathroom? You know, I used to date somebody. She would fluctuate in her weight. You know, never bad. I mean, she was beautiful and all that stuff. But not saying that people. We're going to get comments on this one, but not saying that people are. You know, whatever your weight is, who cares? I'm not concerned about that. I'm a little chunky too. So, and you have a perfect body. So it's like, what would people be? What would people label as, you know? But this is a funny part of it is she had this issue with food, and it would piss me off because she would hide things in cabinets everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like all over the house there'd be hidden food, but then she would lie about it.
Right because she's ashamed. And
she was ashamed. And
gluttony.
And it's like what our literature says, it's a mirror's addiction, an all-consuming nature and lack of control. It's just a mirror. I mean, that's all it is. It's just showing you, why do you need this to be happy? Why do you need excess? Mm-hmm. You know, and I think for me, that's the big one. Let's go to the next one real quick. And I want you to talk about this one because I think you're one of the best demonstrations of somebody I know that doesn't have this. I would never picture Duane being lazy.
Sloth.
I feel like if you do rest, it's because you need to rest. Like you need to relax because you work fucking 12, 15-hour day and you're going to watch a movie for an hour or 2 hours or whatever. Usually, but I don't see you as being, you work all the time.
But that's just propelled by my greed. I rest because my greed fries me to a crisp. Like
I would never say Duane is lazy.
No. And really what we're discussing here when we start looking at the character defect or the umbrella character defect of sloth, in a lot of ways, this kind of just looks like avoidance. Procrastination. Yeah. That's exactly right. Procrastination is sloth, just in 5 syllables. And
right.
I'm not going to deal with this now. I'll put it off later. I'm missing the mark big time. That creates anxiety. That creates uncomfortableness. That creates dishonesty. I no longer like the man I am.
I'll go to the meeting next week.
When I'm not
this week.
Taking care of the shit I know I need to take care of. It's like the responsibility is right in front of you. Why are you dodging that? Why are you stepping to the side on that? That's the same. It's kind of hand in hand with coveting too. It's like, well, I don't really want to work for this. I know it's right in front of me, but I don't want to put in the work. It's like, that's fucking bullshit. I can empower myself by taking action. I am not going to be empowered by practicing procrastination. I used to, on a very small level, I used to like blow off my homework in high school and be terrified of going to class. That is all on me. It's not my professor's fault. It's not my dad's fault. It wasn't the school's fault. That was all on me and my sloth. And my inability to rise to the occasion, my inability to take responsibility for what's right in front of my face.
I think also, if you're entrepreneurial or you're an addict, because those go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I think winging it is a form of sloth.
Unprepared.
Because we can just wing shit and halfway do good.
Sure.
But the enemy of good,
is the best.
Yeah. So it's like, if I knew I had to do a presentation and I would have said it 100 times out loud.
You're really good at that.
Instead of saying it 10 times, how much more prepared am I saying it the 100 times over the 10 times?
Sure.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Like at 100 times, I know I'm ready. At 10 times, I'm just winging it. And most people, they'd be like 3-5 times, I'll go over it. You'll go over it a few times and then.
Bro, most people do none.
Yeah.
They just show up and hope it goes well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I've been doing sales training with this organization, and it's the same thing. It's like most salespeople just wing it. They're not practicing the steps to the sale. They're not going over active listening to the customers, finding their needs and wants. They're just winging it and just diarrhea of the mouth. So that's what I always picture. It's like a bad salesperson.
Yeah.
And addicts are so good at this because we can manipulate.
Really addicts are the best salespeople there are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can manipulate the situation to get what we want. And so alchemize that, turn that into an asset. So it's no longer a character defect, it's a character asset. What's the opposite of sloth? Diligence.
Mm-hmm. Self-discipline.
Self-discipline,
Yeah.
go-getter attitude, responsibility.
Oh.
Fucking take action and take
Do
responsibility.
addicts know what that is?
Right now, especially addicts who are practicing envy, covetousness. The dictum is rights, rights, rights. Don't you know I have rights, rights, rights? I need my rights, rights, rights. The solution to the tyrannical perspective of everyone else needs to change so that I'm okay is truth and responsibility.
That's so good.
I need to tell the truth about what I've been doing, my inaction, my sloth, and I need to take responsibility.
Being honest with myself.
Yes, being honest. Tell exact same thing. Tell the
with
truth.
myself.
Tell the truth. I haven't done shit in 10 years.
That's a fucking hard thing to do, bro.
I haven't educated myself in something new.
I'm a fat, lazy piece of shit.
I haven't eaten well in 8
Yeah.
years. I haven't eaten well in 20 years. So tell the truth and then take responsibility. I know that there are people that have transformed their lives. How did they do it? Start seeking a recovery program. Start seeking a solution. Start taking action in order to live a different type of life. Truth and responsibility is the antidote to your tyrannical life of being a victim.
I love that, bro. I think we'll end there. One of the things I want to share with people is the number one thing that you could do for us is to share the podcast. So we want you to share it with other people, put it on your social media, use that share button. It can go on Instagram stories. Super simple. It takes literally less than 5 seconds to share the episode, to send it to somebody that maybe you have a daughter or a son that has addiction. I think we do a pretty good job of, we have a lot of younger people that listen to us. So I think we can do a pretty good job. So it maybe just hearing from somebody else can be a catalyst. If they're hearing the parent yell at the child, have us yell at your child. And if you're a younger person and you don't know what to do, DM us. We would love to. We did the question and answer, and that's the most popular episode we've done so far.
Really?
Is a Q&A one. Yeah.
Very cool.
So we just released it, I think 2 weeks ago or something like that. And that's our most popular episode. So we want to do more of those at least once a month. We'll do the Q&A. So give us the questions, and we love it. But appreciate you, Duane. Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.
And no spirit of Cain.
No spirit of Cain.